In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition, a late night edition, laying here in the laying here in the dark, a late edition of what we call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the host, gatekeeper of this program, the man you love to hate, the mighty one, Angel Snub 7, your brother and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. Of course I know I can't say anything. It pisses people off. Angel Snub 7 can't say anything. Somebody is going to fall apart and become emotional. Angel Snub 7 can't say or do anything. It brings anger. Folks get upset. They fall apart. I can't say. And the only thing I'm offering is words. Why do my words hurt you so bad? I would like to know that. Why do I make you so upset and you fall apart? Why are you so emotional? Could it be that you are in denial? Could it be that the truth and reality hurts you? And you get angry at Snub 7 because I am bold and brave enough, because I know those with your mentality, y'all are willing to kill those who tell you the truth. This is a recurrent thing in your religious teachings. You don't like the truth. You don't like reality. So when the prophet comes to bring you a message from your God, instead of taking heed the warning of that prophet, it is better that you rebel. It's better that you kill that voice. I wonder, God won't come here on earth to give us a message, him or herself or itself, because God know y'all will kill him. Y'all will stab God. Y'all will run God over with your car. You will slander God's name all over the internet. That's why God chooses prophets. I'm going to send you out, Negro. I'm not going to get shot. I'm not going to get stabbed. I'm not going to get slandered. The hell with that. They ain't worth it. I'm going to find me a flunky to send to the earth and let the prophet. Matter of fact, this God so punkified This guy said, I'm going to send my son, my son. I'm going to send my son out there. Let him get killed. Like, damn. And this is the type of God y'all worship. Punk ass God. A chump. Woo, boy. Don't get angry at me. You haven't seen your God. You heard that somebody said that they telling you about your God. Your God has never come to do a damn thing for you. Never. At no time. God sounds like a punk to me. Chump. The all-powerful, the supreme being. You got all this power, and you're the supreme being, but you're going to find a flunky that you didn't give no kind of power to, and they run around, can't defend themselves, and end up hung on a cross. Wow. Now this is your story. This is not my story. This is what you're telling me. You're telling me that this God brought his son. He kept his punk ass at home and put the son out here with no protection. And he sat back in the cut and watched these people crucify his son, my son. Now, how many of you with children, whether it's a son or a daughter, I mean, you can be helpless because, I mean, there are situations there's nothing that you can do. But if you could, you're going to try to save your son. You're going to try to save your daughter. If you have the power to do it. This person is the supreme being, the Almighty, the Most High. And you let your children of Israel, you let the Son of God, your son, you let them get their ass whooped, beat, murdered, raped, lynched, all kinds of stuff. And you sit back in the cut, and y'all actually have the nerve to bring your God to me like I'm supposed to be impressed. And your God still ain't doing a damn thing for you right now. You're still getting murdered and raped, unjustly imprisoned, sodomized, discriminated, and the list goes on and on. And your God sit back and don't do nothing. And I'm supposed to be impressed by the Most High, the Supreme Being. That kind of God can kick rocks. Because if I'm going to talk about God, I'm backed up by the real power of God, and you're going to see it. Not talk about it. My God will kick your ass now. But God don't exist, so I don't expect to get any help. So, tonight, earlier, myself and some of you out there in YouTube land, you probably did tune in to a broadcast our sister Nova had with special guest Brother Maurice Muhammad, Sister Karen on the panel. And the topic is, or was, what was it, the gender war, something, what, why is there a black gender war, something to that effect. And actually, it was a wonderful conversation. It was basically cordial and civil. I had a troll, one person, trying to bring up that mess to me. And I have to pat myself on the shoulder because I gave that troll no energy. I did not respond. And I told the troll, no energy today. You can say whatever you want to say because you have a right to your opinion. And that's fine with me. But I will not go back and forth with you. I spent my time posting comments on the conversation, and I spent my time posting the links to Brother Maurice's channel and Sister Alberta's PayPal. That's what I've done. I did not give a bottom feeder my energy. And that's what they were there for. They were not there to listen to the conversation. They were there hoping I would be there so they can feed their dysfunction. But when they saw their dysfunction was not going to be fed, next thing you know, they disappeared. They made no attempt to speak on the conversation. Their whole purpose for coming to the channel was hope that I would be there so they can call me names and whatnot. But I did not respond. So there was no drama for this bottom feeder to feed their dysfunction. And they went away. And this is something that we must understand. A lot of people here on social media are bottom feeders. They're looking for drama. They're looking for negative energy. They're wanting, as they say, in, I forgot what they call it. It's a part of spirituality. They are feeding or embracing their lower chakra. So when I did not help them do that, they left. It's a possibility it could have been our old faceless friend. Never know. So it was a wonderful conversation. I always enjoy Brother Maurice speaking. And there was a lot of information to be heard. And everybody in the chat room, besides this troll, was having a good time in the conversation in the chat room. So the live stream, and if you haven't listened to the live stream, please take the time and watch and listen to what was being offered. I want to say for myself, and it is not my intent to hurt people's feelings. It's not my intent to disrespect. It's not my intent to draw emotion. But my intention is to speak my mind. Don't I have a right to my opinion? Now, for me, the conversation, as I said, overall, it's wonderful. If this was a different period of time. There's an old saying where people want their cake and eat it too, something to that effect. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Either you're going to fight for your freedom or liberation, or sit your ass down and be a happy slave. It's one or the other. There is no in between. That's my position. You're in a situation where you need to fight. You want to be able to fight, but at the same time, you want to live this comfortable life with a happy family. That's not how it works, people. That's not how it works. Either you're going to fight, die, sacrifice, and suffer, or just be content in being a comfortable slave. You cannot have both of them. There is no in between. You cannot be at war and not expect your family to be a casualty of war. That's what war is about. You think that you can go out and fight and nothing's going to happen to your family. Now, this is what I believe. I don't know. This is what I believe. I believe, well, first of all, it's two things that I believe in relation to the late and great Malcolm X. Malcolm X was not interested in a wife. He was encouraged to take a wife by Elijah Muhammad because he was the national representative of the Nation of Islam, and it was a better look that he be married because that's what they teach. It's not a good look that he's a single man, and they teach family. They teach family in the Nation of Islam, and Malcolm X not have a wife. Malcolm was celibate over 11 years. Malcolm X did not care about having a wife. He done had plenty of sex. Malcolm wasn't missing nothing. He wasn't interested. Elijah Muhammad encouraged him to find a wife. If Malcolm was interested trying to get some booty, he would have done it years ago. Malcolm X was not interested. He was interested in the freedom and the liberation of an oppressed people. That's all he was interested in. I am telling you, when you fall in love and you looking out for your family, you cannot be the warrior as a man that you need to be, because you will make yourself less because you have a fear that your family is going to get hurt. So you begin to back off. Malcolm, I believe, I don't know, I believe Malcolm did what he did the day he was assassinated because he wanted to die. Why did he want to die? He wanted to die because he wanted to spare Sister Betty and his children from getting hurt. That's why. And he knew if he was dead, maybe his enemies would spare the life of his family. If Malcolm X did not have a family, I think Malcolm would have done something much, much different. Because Malcolm wasn't a punk. He came from the street. Malcolm knew how to shoot a gun. Malcolm knew how to get down. But he knew if he went in that direction, it's a possibility. And of course, Malcolm was outnumbered. It was just Malcolm and a few handful of people that he had, and they were barely with Malcolm. They was barely hanging on, a lot of them. See, Malcolm and myself, we are so real. Not just anybody can hang with us. You got to be real. And though a lot of those who was hanging with Malcolm found out he was too real. And they start backing off Malcolm like that because they want their cake and eat it too. Malcolm was having meetings with real revolutionaries who was willing to supply black people with weapons. And many of those who was riding with Malcolm, they wasn't ready for that kind of action because they have a family. And also they don't want to die. It's easy to talk about what I'm going to do, what and all that, whatever. Anybody can fix their mouth to say anything. But when it comes down to the real nitty-gritty, it's a different ball game. And the Holy Quran, the book of the Muslims, tell the Muslims, don't think that you're going to say you believe and not be tested. Somebody is going to pull your whole card sooner or later. You talk about I'm going to do this and blah, blah, blah. Somebody, sooner or later, is going to pull your whole card. I was locked up for 10 years, as y'all know. And people talking a bunch of crap, blah, blah, blah. Sooner or later, somebody is going to pull your whole card. I saw a lot of people running their big mouth, and then when they were tested, they failed. You can make your mouth say anything. Now, some people, they're nothing to play with because their history show they will throw down. But some of us, we talk. Because see, if you don't die, then you might be spending the rest of your life in prison. That don't sound good either way. Because you don't want to die, because you got a family. I want to see my grandchildren grow up. I want to see my great-great-grand. How the hell do you expect to get out of this situation with that attitude? You're not. You can't have it both ways. Either you're going to fight or you're going to sit your ass down and be a good slave. Shut the hell up. Because you don't fool nobody, because sooner or later, your whole card is going to get pulled. Personally, I know what kind of person I am. Because I have been tried and tested for 10 years. Threatened with death. If you don't bow down to us, we will keep you locked up the rest of your life. And I told them bastards, you're going to have to just kill me, because I'm not going to bow down to you. Do I want to die? No. Who in their right mind want to die? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I just want to die. That's something groovy. I want. Raise your hand. I want to die. But I'd rather be dead than bow down to your lie. I'd rather be dead than continue this life as a damn comfortable slave. As a small unit of people, you cannot challenge the white man. You cannot challenge him. You cannot challenge this man in power with violence. Your little group will get wiped out. Easy. These people wipe out countries. I'm going to say that again. These people wipe out countries. You and your little band of merry men, what the hell you gonna do? What the hell you gonna do? And you don't even have the support of the 40 million soul brothers and sisters in this country. Robin Hood. The only way we have a chance is that we have to have a vast majority of our people in support. But until that time, if it happens, which they are not interested in violence, what you're talking about, that type of rhetoric is just rhetoric. It make you feel good, but it's not reality. It's not reality. And when you talk like that, and your enemy know that you talk like that, they waiting for you to make a crucial mistake so they can justify wiping you out. Because they have recorded your words. They have watched your actions. You told them what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. So it'll be easy to wipe you out. So you will be dead, and maybe your family will be dead. But if your family live, now your family don't have you anymore. And whatever you built will be destroyed overnight. Something that took you 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever years, it's all gone in the blink of an eye. Because we're acting on emotion and we're not looking at things from a realistic point of view. Somebody in the chat room, because I was making a comment in relation to this, and somebody in the chat room talk about, you sound scared. You a scaredy cat. And I told them, when I see you leading the charge, I will follow. When you lead the charge. Now, how can somebody hiding behind an avatar, how do you have the nerve to come to somebody and talk about you sound scared, and you hiding your face and your identity behind an avatar? Because when your happy ass go to work, you're not going to talk all that crazy stuff on your job. Or even if you are, like they love to brag about, I own my own business. You're not going to go and be on your own business and talk that way in front of your customers or anybody. You're not going to do it. Damn coward. You sound scared. Well, when you lead the charge, punk, I'll think about falling behind you. All that stuff sounds good. We as a people, if we want to do that, then we need to do it as a people. And we might lose, but the point you want to make to your oppressor is, if you want some ass, you got to bring some. Yeah. Yes, sir. You killed a whole lot of us, but we killed a whole lot of you too. During the Vietnam War, do you know they killed a lot of Vietnamese people, soldiers and civilians? They killed a whole lot of those people over there. But those people had fight. And it was their country. And they refused to accept loss. And when it was all said and done, big bad America ran their happy ass with their tail between their legs. America left millions and millions of dollars of equipment in Vietnam. And prior to America, I think it was the French. The French tried to do that too. Tried to conquer those people and got their ass whooped. So in 2021, America and all superpowers have much respect for Vietnam. They sure as hell do. Now they skinning and grinning in those people's face because they was fighters and they stood for theirs. They wanted to make slaves out of them. The war was started because they wanted Vietnam to become industrialized. And they didn't want to become part of that type of lifestyle. They liked living the way they were living. And you got these bastards, because they wanted the resources of Vietnam, they wanted to bring their factories and their pollution and their smoke and their death to those people. That's why there was war in Vietnam. All these wars is basically about material greed, oil, rubber, cheap labor. That's what all these wars is about. Very few conflicts, very few wars is about freedom. It's about resources. Materialism, that's what it's about. And those people whoop their ass. And then you have a small country like Afghanistan. And those people called the Taliban. They don't whoop the hell out of Russia and the United States. They had enough war, like what? Almost 50 years of straight war over there in Afghanistan. They whooped the hell out of the Russians and America. Now America, Joe Biden said, I'm sick of this stuff. Let's go ahead and start pulling them out. And the Taliban bringing their ass right back like nothing happened. Fighters. You think they don't care about their families? You got to fight. Who knows how long they haven't seen their children? And America was over there killing their people. They might not even have family no more. But see, you don't understand. When you're fighting, your wife and your children, they may get killed. That's the nature of war. They would get blown up. These people, in order to get with you, they will blow your whole house up just to kill you. The hell with your wife. The hell with your family and your dog Scruffy. We are going to send a drone to your house, and that drone is going to shoot missiles and blow your house up, you, your wife, your friends, and your dog Scruffy. That's the nature of conflict. If you're not ready for that, you need to sit your ass down. There is no happiness in war. They say war is hell, and that's what it is. This soul brother, this soul sister, this black man and woman must understand the situation that you're in. Freedom and liberation comes at a high, high price. Now, we're presenting something to us called the Mississippi Campaign. Because I understand I don't have a bazooka, I don't have a tank. I know that chances of these black men getting together for a real civil war, that's not going to happen. I understand these things. So we present the Mississippi Campaign to try to accomplish the goal of freedom and liberation, and we don't have to get violent like that. And this is not to say we're not going to still experience violence, because there are those, including people that look like us, that do not want us to be liberated, that do not want us to have freedom. They don't want us. They like things just the way they are. But the Mississippi Campaign is a more wise action than those things. And we understand that all battles are not worth fighting. We want to fight every battle that comes our way. You're not going to get anywhere like that. You have black people that you want to save, and those black people will turn around and testify in federal court, yeah, he shot that police officer all right, and you going to be there in your suit at the defense table calling that person a nigger and a Sambo. It don't make no difference, because your ass is going to jail, going to prison, and probably be put on death row for shooting a cracker. And you was convicted because one of the main witnesses was somebody, a black man that you was trying to save, a black woman that you was trying to save. All these battles, every battle that comes, you don't have to get involved in. That's not your battle. And they're not your people. They're not your people until we come together as a people. They're just feral slaves running around. They have no loyalty to their race or their people. And just because they look like you and you view them as your family, they're not your family. I'm not going to give my life for somebody I don't know nothing about. Do I want to see them beat up? No. Do I want to see them killed? No. But at the same time, you got to look out for your own self-interest, because you get involved in some stuff, and these same people, because that's my brother, that's my sister, they will be the ones. A perfect example is a brother in California, Brother Philip X. These Asians had jumped on these sisters or something at a beauty shop. Some of you probably know the story. And Brother Philip threw a concrete block or something through those Asians' beauty shop. And he was arrested, went to jail. Now, a lot of the people in the community, they supported Brother Philip. And Brother Philip is very lucky, because Brother Philip, you are going to need it, because they're going to try to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. So you're going to need a lot of money and support to pay your lawyer bill. So shout out, and that's nice, that the community is paying Brother Philip's legal bills, money that's being wasted They could have donated that money to the local black homeless shelter or a black school, or did something better with the money than bailing somebody out of damn jail. For what? You want to save some damsels in distress. So what happened was, these Asians, they repaired the window. It was business as usual. And then they put a sign out saying that the weaves was like half price, discounted. And the same women, the same people that Brother Philip was trying to save, they all ran to buy half price weaves. And he's sitting in jail. Now he's going through the legal system. I've been through the legal system. I know what the legal system is about. It's not fun. It's not pleasant. So, Brother Philip, what did you get out of that? I hope that you learned a lesson. See, I used to think that way. All this, I used to think that way. I have been in situations trying to save some black woman or whatever, and I could have got killed. Next thing you know, she right back with the cat that I saved her from. Tongue kissing him in the mouth. I'm like, what? Putting myself in a situation where I could have got stabbed or shot. Just so this person, this woman, can run back to the guy that was kicking her ass. One of my relatives was like that. I'm Mr. Macho. I save women. And I went out there. It was wintertime. And my sister and her boyfriend was outside fighting. I'm not going to let this man beat up on my sister like that. So I'm Mr. Hero. I run out there. And he go home. I said, man, you have to split. You know, it's not happening. Next thing I know, she's in the car with this man, kissing and hugging. I'm like, what the? Oh, no. No more for me. No more for me. I'm not doing it. You want to play that He-Man macho role if you want to. That's your business. If you want to fight every battle that come on the news, you can do that. Angel Snutting Up 7 ain't gonna do it. Angel Snutting Up 7 have learned a lot of lessons in my over 45 years messing around with all this blackity black, pro-black philosophy stuff. This clown gonna tell me I'm scared. When I was 19 years old, I was making plans to go assassinate the President of the United States. That's what I was doing, punk. Because I was real about mine. It was a Muslim brother that stopped me. If I didn't tell him about it, it would have been on and popping. But I thought he was like me. I thought he was going to join me and help me pull this off. And he talking about, brother, are you crazy? So you don't tell me. And I always tell you, I am not the bravest person in the world. But I also had the philosophy. A man got to do what a man got to do. I'm scared. I want to kill the President of the United States. But I feel that's what needs to be done, so I'm going to do it. A man got to do what a man got to do, whether I'm scared or I'm brave. So you can't tell me that sounds scary. I know what I would do. If I had a group of people that was really for real down, I know what I will do. Now you, I don't know what you would do. Even traveling with Minister Farrakhan all over the country, I was ready to throw down. FOI ain't no punks. The only thing that holds the FOI, the Fruit of Islam, back is the leadership, is the teaching. Because those brothers are pumped up. I'm telling you. If they were given the order to do something, those brothers are going to do it. Don't think that the FOI is punks. Matter of fact, don't think Muslims is punks, period. I cannot speak for Christians. But I do know a lot of Christians not punks either. But I know under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, and Muslims are taught, to fear no God but Allah. And if you believe that, somebody is in trouble. And I believe that. I was 18, 19 years old, running around in Harlem, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, downtown Manhattan. I wasn't scared to go nowhere by myself. There was no Muslim brothers with me. I would go anywhere by myself. I used to talk to gang members by myself. I used to go to houses of prostitution to talk to the people up in that joint by myself. I wasn't scared because there's only one God, and I fear one God, and that is Allah. I don't fear nobody, nothing except God. I believe that. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't scared. I remember one of the gang members didn't want to hear what I had to say, and he put a gun to my head. And some of the other gang members started laughing. Oh, bro, man, it ain't even that serious. Don't do that. I'm tired of hearing this punk talk all this bullshit. You talking all this God. What if I pull this trigger, blow your MF brains out? I told him, you be doing me a favor. You took me out of my misery. I'll be dead and gone, but you'll still be here suffering. If you feel that's what you got to do, then you need to do that, my man. And he thought I really was crazy. This man got a gun to my head. I'm talking crazy. And, man, bro, you ain't even worth it. I wasn't scared. There's only one God but Allah that I fear. I believe that. Now, if you want to fight, let's do it. But y'all know you're too punkified, and you're not even in a position. Before you could even get enough weapons to try to do anything, you're going to have all these snitches on us to tell the white man about our guns and whatever other weapons we got before you can even get started good. We already know this. It might even come from your own family. Because people will sell you out. Your wife will sell you out for the right amount of money. There's rumors that Dr. Khalid, Muhammad's wife, might have got paid off to poison him. That's the rumor. That's a rumor. We don't know. That's the suspicion. That's a theory. Because they feel as though he was poisoned. But of course, that's Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and they want to get rid of him anyway. So of course, they're not going to look for poison in his body or nothing. It was natural causes. He died from a brain aneurysm or whatever it was. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Because I find it very mysterious that all of a sudden, his wife and his son, they become millionaires almost overnight. Khalid Muhammad was not a millionaire. Most of us in the struggle, most of us in this business, poor as hell. Khalid Muhammad was not rich. But not too long after his death, his son became a millionaire. Like, wow, that was quick. Where was all this while Dr. Khalid was alive? It make you, it's like Arsenio Hall. Things that make you say, But at the same time, we have to quote the Honorable Denzel Washington from the movie Training Day. You know, what was that he always say? About if you can't prove it. Oh, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. That's what Denzel said in that movie. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So, we can't have it both ways. If you're going to be a warrior, then you're going to have to be ready for the consequences of war. There are no happy families in war. There is no lovey-dovey, going to vacations, la-di-da. There's none of that in war. You need to interview somebody that lived through war. Ask some of these Africans, since many of you love Africans and you're friends with Africans, ask many of them who have lived and survived war. Ask them how it is to live through war. It ain't no lovey-dovey happy time. Freedom is not free. There's a high price to pay. You and your family may not see freedom. You sacrifice your life for others to be free. See, you want to enjoy the benefits. That's not how it works. Many people die in war and they never experience the freedom that they fought for. They died so others could live. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. If you want to be happy, that's fine. Be happy. I don't have a problem with that. I'm like Tupac. I'm not mad at you. But when we talk about freedom and liberation, that comes with a price. But it don't have to be so bad. I will say this in my conclusion. My bad. Lost my earpiece. Hold up. Here, lost my earpiece. Our best option is the strategy of the Mississippi campaign. You're simply taking advantage of all the things that your oppressor has given to you, and everything that you're doing is legal under their constitution for the time being. Because when they see what you're trying to do, believe me, these suckers will change their laws. But until that time, you do what we have to do. And also, since you are operating legally, it's only so much that they really can change anyway. Because if they change too much, they will affect themselves. And then they will have two problems. They will have some rebellious Negroes on their hand, and they're going to have a whole lot of white folks that get bad too. That's a serious problem for the government. The Mississippi campaign is trying to out-slick the slickster. The Mississippi campaign is taking the gun from the person that was trying to shoot you and use their gun to shoot them with. It's being wise. It's being smart. It's like playing checkers and chess. We don't need all this rhetoric trying to be tough and bad. You're not tough and bad. When you go in your pocket, there's nothing but lint. When they go in their pocket, they got bazookas and tanks and probably got some weapons we don't even know nothing about. You're not tough. And nobody backs you up. If the United States got in trouble, they could call Mexico. They could maybe call Russia to help put you in check. They have friends. You don't have nobody. So all this huffing and puffing and running around trying to look tough, nobody is impressed. And that's why I'm sick of all this blackity black foolishness, because I've heard it all. I've seen it all over 45 years. It's taking us and we're going nowhere. I can't tell you what to do. The only thing I can do is give us suggestions and advice. And if you don't want to heed the call, you want to keep doing things the way you feel they need to be done, which did not work back then, it's not going to work now. Keep doing that. It's getting you, I see, yeah, it's taking you a long way. But one thing I know for sure, you cannot have it both ways. You're not going to be happy in war, in struggle. That's not happiness. We want to live, we want to talk about freedom and liberation, but we want to live this happy life. There's nothing happy about war. War is about death. War is about destruction. War is hell. Didn't you get the memo? I guess not. I do not mean to get people emotional. I do not mean to get people upset. I do not mean to disrespect or insult anybody. But I have to keep it real. And if keeping it real means I have to catch hell, then so be it. Because I can take it. That's not no problem. I took it when I was a black Muslim. I took it. I took it when I was a Christian. I took it as a boy in school. I can take the heat. That's not no problem for me. I took the heat 10 years in a mental institution. I took the heat. And y'all ain't nowhere close to being locked up 10 years in a mental institution. Try it one day. Some of y'all get scared just the thought of going to jail, let alone actually going to jail, let alone talk about spending 10 years behind bars. You can't have your cake and eat it too, my friend. It's just not going to happen. I know we have this picture, this imagination that we have in our mind. That's not real. That's your imagination. That's not how it's going to go down in reality. That's not how it works. So on that note, I just wanted to express myself tonight. And I thank you for listening. I didn't get any comments. Let me look at here. Nobody said nothing. Nobody even said nothing. Nobody said nothing in the chat. What's up with that? I guess you're all sleepy. Well, let me let you go. Go on to sleep. I need to take a nap myself. I got some things I have to do in the morning or whatever. I got a couple of projects I need to get my lazy ass on and then get on it. And I want y'all to have a peaceful night. We are at war. This is not a normal life that we're living. This is a slave life. I do not like being a slave. I do not like the fact that we're going to pass this situation to our children, my grandnieces and nephews. I don't like that. But I can't do nothing about it. They're not going to have a good future. But they are going to be able to say, my uncle did the best he could. On my grave, in my memory, they're going to remember me. Well, we didn't agree with everything he said or blah, blah, blah. My uncle tried to fight. Which the mass majority of us don't do a damn thing, ain't never done a damn thing in our lives. We've never protested. We never stood for nothing. So how is anything going to change and you sitting on your ass doing nothing? Talking about, I'm tired of the struggle. You ain't did a damn thing. You ain't never protested. You ain't never challenged the system in no kind of way. You never marched. You never done nothing for the struggle except benefit. Tell me I'm tired. Tired of what? Doing what? Eating fried chicken and watermelon? That's a stereotype. But that's a Negro for you. Watching the basketball game? If all of us did a little something, we would be in a better way. But the vast majority of us don't do a damn thing, but we benefit from the little achievements a small group of people do. And even as a little boy, I refused to accept that. I always wanted to be part of the struggle because I want to be able to say I helped. Even if it was baking a cake for a fundraiser, I wanted to be part of the struggle. These pieces of trash don't do nothing. And they complain. But they won't change. They waiting on you and me. They waiting on somebody to do all the work. Then they get angry at me talking about why I don't do this for the Mississippi campaign, I ain't doing a damn thing. If you show me you ready to fight and do something for yourself, you will see me quickly. I will spend every dime and dollar that I have in the struggle. I'm not going to spend not one damn dime trying to save some niggas. That's the bottom line. Not me. I'm not a savior. I tell you all the time, I'm not a messiah. I'm not a savior. I don't give a damn. Why should I give a damn about you and you don't even give a damn about yourself? When I see a young person struggling, trying to go to college or whatever, I will help that person. They're trying to help themselves. I will help that college person buy their books and pay for their tuition. I will help you because you're trying to help yourself. But when you see somebody, the only thing they want to do is smoke dope and ride around in a car and blah, 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 and they talking about, yeah, I need to go to college. I'm not going to help nobody like that. They're not even making an effort to try to help themselves. I'm not going to help these people. I'm going to be a happy slave like you. I want to put out a record. I hope that is a hit record, and I hope it get enough attention. I can get the attention of Terry Ellis, and maybe I can get Terry Ellis to like me, marry Terry Ellis, and have me a happy slave-ass life, and die, and be happy, just like you. Sacrifice the rest of my life for a bunch of losers. Are you crazy? You got me messed up. I'm gonna sacrifice my life for a bunch of losers. These losers haven't done nothing since the Civil Rights Movement. It will be another 30 years or so. It would be 100 years after the Civil Rights Movement. And our generation, those of us who are living right now, we have accomplished nothing. The children of the Civil Rights era have accomplished and progressed and did a damn thing. Nothing. You should be embarrassed. You should be shamed. The children of the Civil Rights Movement ain't did a damn thing. And the children of the Civil Rights Movement, you are in your 40s, getting ready to turn your 30s, 40s. You ain't did a damn thing. So sit on your ass and wait for the ice cream man to come by in your neighborhood. That's all you've done. And some of you pretend you want freedom because you really don't know the price you have to pay, because you want a family. You still want to live good. You still want to live in peace. There is no peace. I'm going to say this for the last time, and I'm out of here. There is no peace in war. War is hell. War is about death and destruction. It's about suffering. My uncle told me about his experience in war. It's not pretty. I used to go to the VA. When I was in the Nation of Islam, we had brothers. Some of them was at the VA hospital, and we used to go visit those brothers that was in war. There's nothing pretty about it. Y'all want to live this happy life. You're not going to live a happy life until you earn it. That means somebody got to fight. Somebody got to die for freedom. Somebody got to live. Somebody got to die, sacrifice, and suffer for your liberation. And maybe after that, you can be happy. But you still live in delusions, because life is not happy. You're going to have happy times and you're going to have sad times. That's just life. You live and you die. That's life. I don't know what reality we live in. Well, actually, that's not reality. Y'all live in fantasy, because that's not what reality shows us. And that's what I'm about. I got to keep it real or nothing at all. So if I step on your feet, I make you sad and upset, that's not me. That's your denial. You don't want to accept the reality of things. You get angry at me because I remind you of that, of reality. That's why you get angry at me. Because I remind you of the reality that you don't want to accept. You want to live in some fantasy world that don't exist. And that's your prerogative. That's your choice. I'm not trying to convert you to nothing. I'm not trying to talk you out of anything. I'm just telling you, hey, this is the way it is. You shouldn't be shocked that you're not progressing. You shouldn't be shocked that you're not going nowhere. You shouldn't be shocked. So on that note, I'm still not getting no comments from the chat room. What's up with that? Where the deacons at? All right, it's all gravy. Thank you for listening. Jot down your comments, subscribe. Subscribe to our sister Noble Levine. And support her book, God is on Trial. Support our brother Maurice Muhammad. The Mississippi Initiative. Hashtag #B1. Whoop that ass. That's right. We need to be the ones that whoop that ass. Brother Maurice Muhammad. Mississippi Initiative. Support our brother. A shout out to our sister Karen. I don't hold no grudges. It ain't all that serious to me. Shout out to Sister Karen. And I would hope that she would come back and keep doing her show. Late night with Sister Karen. Don't be tripping off stuff. Do what you love. You got an opportunity. Do what you love. Don't deny yourself. Take a few days, a few weeks, maybe a month. And let's get the crack-a-lacking. Shout out to the Deacons of Reality. Our soul sister, Ann X. Sister Tasha is out there in the house. Who else? Earthman. Who else do I see? Brother Craig. My brother Craig out there. And, yeah. Anybody I miss, please don't get angry at me. I can't remember everybody. I'm happy that you're here. And it's always an honor that you would give this pitiful guy, this pathetic, pitiful guy, I'm happy that you would give me a few moments of your time. It's really an honor. So on that note, again, thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, donate if you want to. It's all good. I'm Angel Snowdub 7, and as our ancestor, the great and late Don Cornelius of Soul Train, used to always say as in parting, I wish us love, peace, and so we all.